now, and then he threw his arm back and he threw the phone, what appeared to be very, as hard as he could, at my face. Put my head down. I said, "You hit me." I was crying. I said, "Johnny, you hit me," because then I start hearing things being smashed, and I said to him, "Honey, you hit me in the eye, my eye," and I start crying, and
Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdettes Newsstand, and I have covered this subject quite in depth. Now, I want to talk about it one more time. I did say in my video yesterday, and I will put a link to the Justice for Johnny Depp playlist in my description. But I said yesterday I wanted to cover this Virginia legislature that has been passed, this bill that has basically been aimed at lawsuits like Johnny Depp, him specifically, Devin Nunes. There are a couple other that we will talk about. But what it basically concerns is the SLAPP bill, or the anti-SLAPP bill, SLAPP. Now, what this is basically protecting your rights. It's nothing wrong, and I don't see that it's even going to honestly affect Johnny Depp. Basically what it is the strategic lawsuit against public participation. That's where the word SLAPP comes from. It is covering my right as a critic and your right as a consumer to not only engage and talk about your opinions, but it's covering defamation suits also. So it covers protective speech. Now I'm going to try to explain this in the easiest way possible, but again, I'm not a lawyer. Look up information if you want to know, because my opinion is not always law. It's definitely not always fact, but I'm doing my best at this. So let's say you as a consumer go to Yelp and make a review about a restaurant. That is protected speech, because it is your right, it is your free speech to criticize or critique, right? So then that restaurant turns around and sends you a cease and desist and says, no, this is not factual, even though it's an opinion. So a lawsuit or a SLAPP attempt then would happen to chill basically your free speech, to silence criticism. Now, an anti-SLAPP is what you would then file, and just basically saying, you're not going to stop me if this is opinionated or if this is factual. Opinions are protected under free speech. They absolutely should be. If you've been at the channel for any length of time, you know that I am a free speech absolutist. I don't believe there is any protected speech. I believe everything you say should fall under that free speech law. Okay, so then it goes on, and you have 60 days to do a motion of strike, basically saying you cannot silence me. So then the burden shifts to the restaurant, saying they need to prove that what you are saying is wrong. Now, in this case, obviously, it would be dismissed, but it can go one of two ways. It can either be dismissed and it's false, or it goes to a defamation suit. Then it'll go to discovery again, or dismissal. You can file an appeal at that time. And if they're frivolously going after you, you can do what's called a slap back. And that basically just says, you need to cover my lawyer fees, you need to cover my work fees, these things that I missed. Because this was frivolous, this was opinion-based, you cannot do this. Now, how this affects defamation of speech is a little different, because you need to be able to prove without any doubt that what this person was saying was defamatory, and not only that, but it was not protected. It was in a malice sort of way. So right now we are looking at Virginia legislature, and this is where Johnny Depp's lawsuit is taking place. So that's why this is so important. The Virginia legislature passed bills Tuesday that would make it harder to pursue frivolous lawsuits designed to chill free speech. A responsibility to string of splashy defamation suits in state courts like Devin Nunes or Johnny Depp, and there are others. There are plenty of others that this may and could affect. Now, do I honestly see it affecting Johnny Depp? Absolutely not. The Washington Post alone that ran with the article about Amber Heard's abuse situation, and that is enough evidence alone to prove defamation and malice. So, says free speech advocates cheered the legislation in the House and the Senate, saying that the state's anti-weak defamation lawsuit made in Virginia a magnet for dubious litigations. Now, as far as the reason why Johnny Depp decided to file this lawsuit in Virginia is actually pretty important, considering the reason he did it is because Johnny Depp brought this to Virginia because Virginia is where the Washington Post was printed. It makes sense. Virginia is where the online version of that Washington Post was created, the original defamation. And Virginia is where the servers that routed the Washington Post in the rest of the world are located. So, to bring that to Virginia absolutely makes sense. But to try to challenge this is absolutely ridiculous. I think I've done 4 videos about this at this point, and I think this will be my last after I talk about this too. But the evidence I've uncovered just is simple. It is showing malice, it is showing defamation, and I don't think this is absolutely right at all. I think at some point they need to realize that this is going to happen. And it's not even the point that the money, you know what I mean? It has nothing to do with the money. It's the point that women can't get away with this any longer. It says in April, Depp sued Heard, his ex-wife, in a $50 million defamation suit, which is in Fairfax County, Virginia. Depp claimed the actress falsely implied that he had abused her in this Washington Post about domestic abuse. Not only that, but the video I showed in the beginning shows this. Well, she's acting, right? That's exactly what she's doing. She is lying and she is acting. She is trying to not only, what has she done at this point? She's lost his reputation. She's lost him multiple jobs. He is not going to be in the Pirates of the Caribbean anymore. He's had problems with Fantastic Beasts. This just goes on and on. And I talked yesterday. I thought it was important to note that, like I said, bruises fade, but what's done to his psyche is done. It's terrible to go through something like this and still years later know and look in the mirror and think you are a horrible person because of what somebody said. Now, he needs to prove basically in this suit that she lied. Well, we know that she lied. We have seen plenty of proof, whether it's the audio leaks, the video I showed in the beginning, or the Washington Post post-op. So I don't see this slap bill being aimed necessarily at Johnny Depp, though they are saying that, you see, this is from the Washington Post. That's the problem here. They're saying that this is aimed at him, and this is going to affect his case. Now, that's because the Washington Post ran with it, and they are feeling like they're a little bit in trouble. They knew they posted false allegations, and they're like, uh-oh, I better not. So this move would pause discovery in this case, which is expensive, time-consuming, and triggering to a hearing before a judge. All of these things will affect it. If the defendant prevails on the motion to dismiss, the defendant would automatically be awarded attorney fees under the House bill and could be awarded them from the Senate version also. So, as far as the defendant in this one, there's not going to be a motion to dismiss. It's just not going to happen. There's way too much. And I've even seen stuff today that I could make an entire another video about. We've got Amber Heard allegedly blackmailing Johnny Depp, threatening to lie about him in every single way. And this comes from one of Johnny Depp's friends. And it's scary that she's gone this far. This is what it says. It says he opened up in the most vulnerable of ways. That is not only his mother, Beth. Okay, so I want to be clear about this. I meant to mention it yesterday. So as far as Johnny Depp's mother goes, she was kind of the same way. Basically, what he went on to say was she never edited herself. She never censored herself. She would call him names. She would berate him. So then he goes to Amber and goes through the exact same thing. What's the old adage that you marry your mothers? So I do get it. He never could fix his mother, so he wanted to fix Amber. So I meant to talk about that yesterday, and I never got to it. But that Amber was not only going to leave him, threatening to lie about him publicly in every possible duplicitous way, and if he didn't agree to her terms, blackmail is what I would imagine other people might put it, including the manner in which is now being vilified. So she was blackmailing him, saying, I am going to not only ruin your career, I'm going to ruin your reputation. And we saw this unfold. We saw these abuse allegations. We saw so much. And then she's going for the throat. It says Amber Heard is a gold digging. Obviously she is, but for YouTube reasons, I'm not going to say it. She was sent an extortion letter demanding $3 million penthouse and Depp to continue to pay a mortgage, even the utilities bills and more as listed, or she would blackmail him with these abuse allegations. And I have these actual documents from Spectre Law stating that she was going to do this. This is sick. You are sick. You need help. Like, you can't continue to do this. I seen in the comment section, I apologize, I don't remember who it was, said that her new girlfriend, Bianca Booty, just went through cancer treatment, breast cancer treatment. And now she's going out with it. Like, this woman is sick, plain and simple. I just really wanted to talk about the Virginia legislature. I don't see it affecting it, but there could be cause for a motion to dismiss. I just don't see it happening. I think he's got plenty of evidence. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Subscribe Star and Patreons. You guys literally make this channel possible. Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris C, Dave Ross, David L, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Sanjuro, Jeremy Burtz, Joe Bustify, Kato Roan, Magical Exotic Diamonds, Mighty Pauls, Mike Buckner, Robert, Steve Glasker, Timothy French, Ala's Matt Films, Alexander Trapp, Way Else One, and Troy Reiser. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like on the way out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.